things are escalating very quickly right now. The trolleys stopped running. The L and the subways reverberated less frequently off the city walls. The arteries of this metropolis were less congested as less cars filled the roads, less people in office buildings, less of everything. There's a strange metallic taste to the fear reverberating off the steel skeleton of this city, as motorcycles and four-wheelers own the empty roads of the spring night. In focus of the media are the empty offices full of hospitals and more distant social gatherings. There is less of most things, but there is more fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the vacuum, fear of the sickness, fear for myself, for my parents and grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, fear for my co-workers with pre-existing conditions, fear for my neighbor who is a nurse, fear for my friend who was a waiter. I used to think that fear was a compassionate response, but when was the last time that fear helped anyone? Fear and caution are two very different responses in the face of danger. The more people I see, the more I remember to breathe. Through cloth face masks, I breathe. Through sprints, jogs, and strides, trying to escape the mounting pressures of the receding economy, I breathe. And still, we find room to become more flexible as we take online yoga classes. We find hope. And still, we breathe. We learned to do more with less as less people went into work at the restaurants that still remained open for takeout. And less people went to work from home as those office jobs dried up too. Maybe it was this lessening effect that cast shadows on the cave walls of our minds, warping time and causing us to think that there were less gems to find. The narrowing experience of this thing we call life is not defined by our doings. I've discovered that this place I've been cornered into is not the only world that exists. There is something deeper than any surface level happenings. There is something innate. I become more aware of the inner world as we uncover more occasions to look within.
All right, y'all, we're down by City Hall. As you can see, I'm right in front of the love sign. There's thousands of protesters out here over by the City Hall, Dilworth Plaza. If people are frustrated, people are angry, we got people of all colors, citizens of all colors out here demonstrating in support of Allah's brothers and sisters, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and others, you know, countless others. People are saying their name. You have to speak up in order to be heard, that you can't just stand by silent and observe this on the news tomorrow or later tonight, that you have to show your support with action.
We ain't gonna know what? Bullshit! We ain't gonna know what? Bullshit! We ain't gonna know what? Bullshit! Bullshit! We ain't gonna know what? Bullshit! We ain't gonna know what? Bullshit!
All right, so as you can see, the situation is definitely escalating. 2 cars have been set on fire, and I can't tell if they're police cars or not. The police have started deploying tear gas. Things are escalating very quickly right now.
All 4 fired officers have been identified. Tonight, we're learning more about their history with the Minneapolis Police Department.
What seems a straightforward arrest somehow devolves into this.
I can't breathe. Please, the name of it.
They executed my brother in broad daylight.
Those riots continue today, spilling into St. Paul, where crowds ransacked shops and smashed windows. Late today, the state capitol was evacuated.
We must restore peace so that we can do this hard work together.
You know what? I feel the frustration and the destruction as this old system comes tumbling down, but I also feel the solidarity as all of us, the people, come together to build. You know what? My grandmother had Alzheimer's, and I can remember her spirit battling with the deteriorating flesh of her brain as her spirit fought to remember who she was, where she was, and why. Anybody else who has ever dealt with a loved one who has forgotten themselves can understand the very real and personal pain that comes when they lash out because they've forgotten who they are. Did they think that we forgot that they stole our history, burned our libraries, and whitewashed those pages, erasing the names of our ancestors, the Shirley Chisholms and Harriet Tubmans? Did they think we forgot that they stole us from our land and then stole our land, which they still covertly occupy? Well, guess what? I've been to the event Uprising of the black hole where beginnings and ends exist at once, like a DVD waiting to press play by a witness. I witness, and I remember nuzzling my nose into the first bud to blossom. I remember that honey that we created like black magic from the blood-soaked soil. Harriet Tubman visited me in my dream last night, pointing a pistol with love at George Floyd's back, telling him to keep going. I remember, keep going.
There was a few people being aggressive, and to be honest, there was a lot of white people being the antagonizers, being the ones throwing the water bottles, breaking stuff. And I think that's not good allyship. I think allyship is we're here to aid. We're not here to lead, we're here to aid. We're here to be a help, put ourselves in front of our brothers and our sisters if we see they're about to be attacked. If we see them hurt, help them. Speak up for them, but don't speak for them. Educating yourself on different issues, different racial issues, the history of where we come from or where this country comes from. We have to be very vigilant about educating ourselves, raising awareness, and spreading that to the other white people we know.
Character is two things. One is teachable and it's dynamic. So it's teachable. So if someone discriminates against you just because you're part of the LGBT community, guess what? Someone taught them to be that way. Someone taught them to hate you just because of that. If someone is racist, guess what? Someone taught them to be racist, to hate me just because of the color of my skin. But the thing that I love about character is that if someone can teach someone hate, I can turn around and come in and I can teach them love. So I can come in and flip that 180 and echo their hate with my love. And I guarantee that over time, over a duration, it won't happen in a day, it won't happen in a week, sometimes it doesn't happen in a year, but love will win.
We the people will not sit by idle and watch the floor fall out. We will not remain isolated and sink into our neighborhoods or watch our neighbors get killed. We will not just watch the breath of our loved ones and those who look like us or total strangers be snuffed out and do or say nothing. We will band together, we will form new networks and strengthen existing ones. We will collaborate, we will support one another, we will do our part to slow the spread, and we will do our part to speak up and speak out. We will ask, how are you? And genuinely listen for an authentic reply, and then show up for that too. We will be available, we will change, we will evolve, we will adapt. We will look back at this era and reminisce how we sprang into action to eradicate this institutionalized racism. We will share our stories and we will be the controllers of our narrative. We will recall grace. We will be more forgiving and more present, but we will hold those accountable who need to be held accountable. Yes, we will share, and we will become whole despite the forces that seek to divide us. We the people will forge new paths forward into the unwritten tomorrow. We the people will be the authors that pen this unwritten history we're living today. We the people will make this moment count.